You shot straight, but you shot late. Holla at me. This is the Rundown Podcast.
I'm gonna give you the rundown.
Say man, hey man, it's OG Jucario. Now I'm back at you with another one. And I had to come spin the YouTube block on this topic about Gucci Mane and his artists and the curse that they seem to have on 1017, the new 1017, as Gucci calls it. And it seems like everybody over there is either dying, losing their life some type of way, or going to jail, going to prison for a long time, years at that. And we're going to talk about this and chop it up and see what's really going on, you guys. What's happening over there at the new 1017 with Gucci Mane's label and his artists. In light of the recent death of former Gucci Mane artist ENCHANTING, she was said to have passed away out there in Fort Worth. She was on life support as reported, and they had to end up pulling the plug, on her life, and she perished that way. And that's sad, man, because a lot of people were praying for her to pull through and, possibly bounce back after this whole ordeal or whatever she was going through. What's really going on over there at the new 1017 Records? Gucci Mane's label seems like it's cursed, like it has a black cloud over there at that label. And it seems like a lot of those artists over there are either dying, losing their life some type of way, right? Or they're either going to prison for a long term. And as we all know, it started with Pooh Shiesty. He ended up doing a long-term prison bid. And it's a long list of other artists that Gucci had been signing. And he dropped a couple of those artists also. We're going to go through that list as well. Now, many people were waiting on Gucci to react, to respond to what happened to ENCHANTING, a former artist of his that was signed to 1017, but reports came out that she wasn't no longer signed to Gucci Mane at the time of her death, right? And this is what Gucci Mane had to say in response to her death. He said, "So sad to have to say R.I.P. to such a great young lady, a true superstar. We gonna miss you, Chant, at Loving Chanting," right? And so, like so many other artists that's on Gucci's label, a lot of them seem to find trouble, or trouble finds them some type of way. Because everybody is saying, look, man, Gucci's label is cursed. Everybody is, saying this. Everybody has this same type of opinion when it comes to the new 17 and Gucci's label and his artists. Because it seems like nobody can catch a break over there. All right, now we're going to go through the list of artists that, are signed to Gucci Mane. Some of them are going through court proceedings with murders, right? Some of them are already doing time, like the Pooh Shiesty, the Hot Boy West. He's already serving a 15-year sentence. Pooh Shiesty was said to be coming home pretty soon, right? So, there's other artists on the label that went through a lot of trouble as well with law enforcement. So, with Big Scar and ENCHANTING being the only ones that lost their life so far, will there be other artists that will possibly lose their life soon, especially with this type of lifestyle that they're living, the street life and, the fast life, being out there amongst the shooters and, the people who are into crime, right? So, now, looking at the list of the artists who signed to Gucci Mane and the troubles that they're going through, let's check it out. Hood Rich Pablo Juan is facing RICO charges, you guys. Now, that's one artist. Road Boy, he was dropped from the label. Kashade, she was dropped from the label. I'm assuming that was a female. Hot Boy West, as I just said, he's serving 15 years. Fujiano is serving 5 years, okay? ENCHANTING, as we just found out, she lost her life today. They had to pull the plug after she was on life support, right? And we found that out through the rapper Lil CJ Casino out of Fort Worth, right? And then Big Scar, as we know, he passed away on December 22nd, 2022. All those 22s, right? And Pooh Shiesty, he's serving 8 years. And like I said earlier, Pooh Shiesty is said to be getting out of prison pretty soon. Now, as we continue to go down the list, these are more artists that Gucci either recently signed or they were already signed to the label, right? You got Big Fizzle. Okay, you got Big Walk Dog. A lot of people might, have already heard of Big Walk Dog, and he keeps his nose clean. You know what I mean? Like, you don't too much hear about Big Walk Dog, but obviously he's still on the new 1017 label. You got Brisden, Fujiano, as I mentioned already, Hot Boy West. Kato 2 times found himself in a predicament where they were trying to say that, he shot his homeboy, CEO Jizzle, right? The law enforcement in Memphis tried to pin a shooting on him, right? At this concert that was going on. And they tried to say that Kato 2 times shot his own homeboy, CEO Jizzle. Now, that was crazy, right? But since that incident happened, he was locked up for a little stint, but law enforcement let him back out on the streets. And I imagine he's back doing his thing with 1017 as we speak, right? And then you got Lil Rye. Okay, he's another signee, Lil Zay. And then you have another Memphis artist that was bubbling pretty hard at the time too, Mac Critter. Now, Mac Critter, he was also accused and he was arrested and charged for a murder, right? But he was let out on bond or whatever, and he's back to doing his music also. And as I mentioned, Pooh Shiesty, he's still serving an 8-year sentence, and he should be home pretty soon. FTO Set, he's also another Memphis rapper that was signed by Gucci to the new 1017 label, and he's been facing troubles himself, getting caught with guns and catching gun charges, right? And that's not a good thing. And there's one more artist that's on the list, TLE Sino, right? So TLE Sino is somebody I haven't heard of yet. I'm about to do some more research on him. But yeah, these are all artists who are signed to the new 1017 label, right? And most of these guys, majority of them, already have problems with law enforcement. Is it dark clouds over this label? Well, I would assume so, because every time you look up, there's something negative happening to these artists, right? Whether it may be a death or it may be a jail sentence, okay? Is Gucci Mane's new 1017 label cursed? Is it some type of witchcraft going on over there with this label, where everybody is up under a demonic spell? And going through the history of rapper Gucci Mane, he has a pretty extensive rap sheet itself, right? A history of going to jail and prison, himself. So it's like, is he only signing artists with this type of background? Is he, only using this type of criteria when he signs artists? What's really going on with that, Gucci? I haven't seen you sign nobody yet besides Big Walk Dog, who used to be a football player, right? A star football player. He's one of the quiet ones. I would assume Gucci would go after more, artists such as a Big Walk Dog, who has that type of persona about themselves and is not in the street as much, right? As these other guys are, because these other guys come straight out the trenches. They come straight out the streets, man. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that's where Gucci is, falling short by going to get these street guys, right? And they're having all these legal troubles, and they can't seem to stay out of prison or trouble for somehow. But at the end of the day, man, the day gotta end, like Big Glow say. And will these guys still be on 1017 records at the end of the day when it ends? Who knows? But we shall see, because Gucci is steady dropping artists. And he also dropped an artist one time. I will have to look up the name. I kind of, forgot the name of the artist that right after Takeoff was killed, you guys. Gucci signed him. And he said that he wasn't going to Houston. He wasn't doing no shows in Houston. And guess what? Gucci dropped him from the label. He went on IG and said, look, I'm not going to Houston. Takeoff just got killed. They ain't gonna take me out like that. It ain't gonna be that easy, right? I just got signed. I just got this paper. Look, I just did this contract. I ain't going to Houston though, man. I don't care what nobody say, right? And Gucci seen that, heard what he said, and dropped him from the label. And a lot of people felt like Gucci shouldn't have dropped the young man from the label, for expressing how he felt about going to Houston at that time, another hot spot for crime and murder, right? Where Takeoff got his life taken from him, right? Behind some foolishness, some pettiness, right? And arguing about basketball. Then the next thing you know, somebody comes up dead, which happens to be Takeoff, right? So you can't blame the young man for not wanting to go to Houston during that time. And, you know, the smoke was in the air. But, you know, nevertheless, Gucci Mane decided to drop him from the label. So it seems like, you know, Gucci wants these, you know, certain type of guys to be signed to his label. And like I said earlier, maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the error with these signees that Gucci Mane is pinning to his label. Over the course of Gucci Mane's career, he hasn't served more than 4 years in prison total, right? From the year 2005 all the way up to 2013 with his run-ins with the law. And that's very remarkable because he took a lot of plea deals, okay? And he also had a lot of charges for guns and assaults during that period of time of him going back and forth to prison, right? And, you know, you would consider yourself a lucky man for only doing 4 years, you know, from, you know, that long period of time of getting in trouble with the law, okay? So it seems as if Gucci is going after the artists, you know, have the same type of troubles that he had, right? Mimicking the same type of things that he was getting into, right? He stayed in legal trouble. He stayed in trouble with law enforcement throughout his career. And he dropped a whole lot of albums, 12 to be exact, studio albums, and over 72 mixtapes. So he stayed working constantly in the studio. So that would also make you wonder, why doesn't he sign artists with that same type of work ethic that he had, right? Well, who knows? Maybe these guys do have that type of work ethic. We just haven't seen it yet. But will they stay out of jail long enough to show us that they have that Gucci work ethic, you know, as their label owner does? So y'all get in the comment section and let me know, does the new 1017 Records, Gucci Mane's label, have a curse on it? Rumors about Gucci Mane not being the same man, the same person, individual that he was when he went into them feds and came out is still circulating. A lot of people still believe that this isn't the same Radrick Davis, right? This is a whole different person, and we've been duped. Now, a lot of people are alluding to the fact that Gucci did admit to being a clone. And a lot of people saying, oh man, he was just playing, he was just kidding and joking around, because people kept saying that and asking him that online, right? On Instagram to be exact. And, you know, a lot of people took that and ran with it, man. They're saying, look, he even, you know, he admitted it, you know, but at the end of the day, man, we'll never really know truly if, you know, droids or, you know, humanoids or clones or things of that nature is actually walking among us. Because technology has evolved to a level where we're now second guessing, you know, if Gucci is a clone or not. Now, a lot of people feel like Keisha Kayor, his wife, is his handler, and she makes sure that Gucci stays intact and he doesn't do these rants online anymore, right? Make sure he eats right, keeps his weight down, and maintains the persona and the look that he has now as this new Gucci, right? So y'all get in the comment section and let me know, does the new 1017 record label, Gucci Mane's label, have a curse on it, you guys? Y'all let me know. And until next time, this is OG Jucario TV. You're watching the Rundown Podcast. I appreciate everybody for spending with me. I appreciate all my subscribers for sliding with your boy every time. And say, man, hey man, keep hitting that like button, keep hitting that subscribe button, and look, turn on post notification so we can slide whenever I get the drop. And you already know what it is, man. It's deeper than booty hair. And guess what?
Hey, handsome.
Hey, babe, I'm a clone.
Yeah, you a clone tonight. Well, you be my clone.
That's right.
I'm gone.